Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, 16th chapter, 23rd verse. Hyaha Shastravidim Utsrijya Vartate Kamakarataha Na Saha Siddhim Avapnoti Na Shukam Na Param Gatim Yashastra Venamutsrijya Vartate Kamakarataha Nasasiddhim Navapnoti Nashukam Na Param Gatim Yashastra Vedamutsrijya Vartate Kamakarataha Nasasiddhim Navapnoti Nashukam Na Param Gatim Yashastra Vedamutsrijya Vartate Kamakarataha Nasasiddhim Avapnoti Nashukam Na Param Gatim. Sijja Vartate Kamakarataha Nasiddhim Nam Navapnoti Sukam Na Param Gatim. Astravedamutsrijya Vartate Kamakarataha Nasasiddhim Avapnoti Sukam Na Param Gatim. Hya, anyone who Shastravidim, the regulation of the scriptures, Utsrijya, giving up, Vartate, remains, Kam Karataha, acting whimsically in lust, Na, never, Sha, he, Siddhim, perfection, Avapnoti, achieves, Na, never, Shukam, happiness, Na, never, Param, supreme, Gatim, perfectional stage. He who discards scriptural injunction and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection, nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. Purport. As described before, the Shastra Vidhi, or the directions of the Shastra, is given to the different castes and orders of human societies. Everyone is expected to follow these rules and regulations. If one does not follow them and acts whimsically according to his lust, greed, and desire, then he never will be perfect in his life. In other words, a man may theoretically know all these things, but if he does not apply them in his own life, then he is to be known as the lowest of mankind. In the human form of life, a living entity is expected to be sane and to follow the regulations given for elevating his life to the highest perfection. But if he does not follow them, then he degrades himself. But even if he follows the rules and regulations and moral principles and ultimately does not come to the stage of understanding the Supreme Lord, then all his knowledge becomes spoiled. Therefore, one should gradually raise himself to the platform of Krishna consciousness and devotional service. It is then and there that he can attain the highest perfectional stage, not otherwise. The word Kam Karataha is very significant. Person who knowingly violates the rules acts in lust. He knows that this is forbidden, but he still acts. This is called acting whimsically. He knows that this should be done, but he still does not do it. Therefore, he is called whimsical. Such persons cannot have the perfection which is meant for the human life. The human life is especially meant for purifying one's existence. And one who does not follow the rules and regulations cannot purify himself, nor can he attain the real stage of happiness. Om Ajnanatimidandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Om Yam Brahma Varunindra Rudra Muranti Divyastaver Vede Sangapada Kramopanisader Gayanti Yam Samagaha Jannavastita Tagatena Manasa Pashanti Yam Yogino Yashantam Neviduhu Surasura Ganadevatasme Namaham Aradyo Bhagavan Varjeshas Tanayorta Dhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kastidupasana Brajavadu Bharginava Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Mamalam Prema Pumartamaham Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tattadaruna Paraham Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadarhara Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Brahma 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 Hare Hare. Let's keep on chanting that. It's nice. This is 16th chapter. Krishna begins by telling Arjuna that I will describe that there are two types of demoniac nature and a pious nature, Sura and Asura. But he tells Arjuna to pacify him, that don't worry, you're not demoniac. For one who does good, then evil can never overtake him. So then he goes on to explain this nature of the demoniac qualities, Kam, Krodh, Lobh. These three qualities, as they manifest and grow like a fungus, like a rabbit bacteria, they consume the whole consciousness of good and create a situation of wild and demoniac frenzy for sense enjoyment, totally covering the pure consciousness of the living entity. So these things, as they are explained here, we have seen very, very clearly in our lives, and we see it presently now. Now in this purport, by reading this, Srila Prabhupada is very, in every situation that would come with him, sometimes he would give a different answer. Depends on who the audience was and what may upset them. Because when we speak, we should not try to disturb the mind of the ignorant, because that will drive them away. They can't comprehend it. It takes the person to have qualifications and ready to understand that. So sometimes Srila Prabhupada would say, like, yes, Christian is good, you follow Jesus, you love God. Now that is also, if you love God, then it is good you follow Jesus like this. So like we came from the Jesus line, most of us Westerners. Some people came from the Buddha line, others came from Durga, Shiva. It was more easily to put in context their position. But for our sentiments, which is a line of Christianity which absolutely has no philosophy, it absolutely has no plan or no steps on how to elevate the consciousness. nor any type of explanation other than to do good to your neighbor and moral principles. But when Prabhupada settled that very nicely by saying, yes, Jesus was a representative of God, and those should follow Jesus, and one should develop love of God. So now, if you look at this purport very carefully, Prabhupada is saying, he is saying that if one follows some moral principles, but he doesn't develop knowledge of God, then he's wasted his time by following just rituals and rules and regulations. One who can see that in the writing, he says, one should gradually raise himself to the platform of Krishna consciousness and devotional service. Then one can attain the higher perfection, not otherwise. So one should come to this level of beginning to understand what is God, and we find with your different so-called religious principles that they're actually basically demoniacally situated, the people that engage in these things without a clear way of how to elevate themselves out of that. So when one can meet a Vaishnava or someone who understands what is the path to develop actual knowledge of God, then his spiritual life actually begins, and the other processes will just bring one to that point where he can actually meet a Brahma or a Vaishnava. Rupe Brahmande Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Kripai Pai Bhakti Lord the Beach. So all these demoniac qualities are so manifested now, and I really don't want to spend much time to talk about it, but we have seen the progression of the capitalistic societies and the communist societies. They both have led to the same thing, of people who have a little bit of position. They're never satisfied. They want more. One corporation takes over another, and without any sense, let us just say basically the banking system. It is the most greedy, filthy, manipulative, corrupt thing that exists. And the governments are all engaged in the same thing. To a few are controlling the masses and exploiting them simply out of greed and the sense gratification of power. So everyone is with no money, and there are so many. We read the billionaires. Why do you have billion? Someone asked Prabhupada one time, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada was saying we should basically have a barter system. And then if barter is not available, then there should be some gold. So one devotee said, well, what if we had gold and we had to make a big transaction? It would be difficult to carry the gold to do a big business. And Srila Prabhupada said, no, there should be no big business. This is Isa Vasyamidam Sarvam Yat Kincha Chakityam Jagat Tena Chaktena Bhunjita Magrada Kashasviddanam. Everybody knows this verse? The universe is controlled and owned by the Supreme Lord. Isa Vasyamidam Sarvam Jat Kincha Chakityam Jagat Tena Chaktena Bhunjita Magrada. And everybody has a right to take what is required for their maintenance. Magrida Kashaswid, don't steal. You take more, you're a thief. You're greed, you are a thief. So they want to take more, and when you take more of something, that leaves less for the other person that is supposed to have that. So this thing never stops. In Vedas, there is explanation. There's a saying in the Puranas that if you give one man all the money, all the jewels, all the animals, everything in the universe, he still will not be satisfied. So one should contemplate simplicity and self-satisfaction. So these demoniac qualities, they begin in a very small way. Let me take a little bit of yours. And believe me, this world, I have, 68 years old. I have been around a while. I've had quite a bit of experience. Everybody wants me to write books and stuff. They hear some of the stories I tell. And even in my personal life, from A to Z, I've had many devotees in the different businesses that I've opened, and everyone, without exception, is stolen from me. Prabhupada disciples or not, they come, "Oh Prabhu, I have no money, can you help?" All right, I can make between $100, $200 a day working, and oh, they're so happy. Now the money is, they can pay their rent, pay for their car, whatever. And after 5-6 months, all of a sudden I come and correct them. "No, you're doing that wrong." Then they get angry at me. And as soon as they get angry, I know they're stealing. Immediately, I say, "You're fired." "Why?" "Because you're stealing." "Oh, you think I didn't catch you?" "Because I didn't count. I expect everyone to steal little because it was cash business and like this." But I said, "Well, how do you know? What's your proof?" I said, "You're angry at me." In order to justify your own stealing and live with yourself, you have to blame it on somebody else. So you look at me, "Oh, he makes more money than me and I'm doing all the work, so I can take a little more. I can steal something." And then they shut up because I'm right. You have to live with yourself. And in order to live with yourself and the person you steal from, you must justify that. So, in our path, in this institution, which is Prabhupada's institution, is not ours. We are only invited guests to help him assist his Guru Maharaj, Das, Anudas. Ultimately, to the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani. And when we have come into, by his mercy, in this particular way, and I have seen it from beginning, because I joined the movement very early. Every single person that joined early. Nowadays it's different. Because it started in the USA, and all of us that joined the institution had to take a step down in our living standard. And I mean a real step down, not just a little bit. I joined in San Francisco, and my family lived 20 blocks from the temple. And I left the car there, left everything, and went to sleep in a storefront on the floor with 30 other people in one toilet. But of all the people, and every week 2 or 3 or 4 more would join, because all we did was preach. We lived on the street 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. We would go at 1, come back at 5:30, eat some peanuts, raisins, and lemonade, and again 7 o'clock, and come back at 1 in the morning, and get up at about 7. There was no Mangal Artik. And there was a lot of little bickerings because the new people, and we didn't have much the food situation. But nobody went home. Many came. Every weekend we'd shave up. On Sunday was shave up day for new men. 3 or 4. This was Haight-Ashbury, where the temple was, Frederick Street, Frederick and Stanton, right 2 blocks from Haight-Ashbury, where all the hippies were coming from all over the world, thinking they were going to find some flower power or something. But what they found was a bunch of drug addicts and a bunch of opportunists, But they would be attracted, and they would come for whatever reason, but after 2 weeks, many would leave. But at the meantime, they were at the temple. Maybe 1 out of 10 stayed. But so we took a step down. So everybody that came, in the beginning, came for the reason, there's 4 reasons to come: out of distress, seeking knowledge, looking for money. What is that? Chaturvidava Sukriti. Artharti, Gyani, Chabaratas, and looking for God, or inquisitive. So most of the people that I know still, like my good friend Shudi Das, he was a boy, 16?
He was 18, I looked it up.
18, yeah, he looked 12, He came to India. We both came in 1971, and it was very difficult here. We had no money, we had not enough food, but we stayed. And nobody ever called their mother or their father. That was unheard of. It was such an energy. I went to the temple on a Sunday to see one feast. And the next Sunday I'd shaved up and given everything, and my parents never heard from me. My mother would come there and crying, try to bring some food. They were getting skinny. But that was it. The motive was there, and we were looking for knowledge our whole life. And here, substance in this chanting, because everybody was pure. Now, over the years, since them days, property has come, money has come, power has come. We had no power. We're a small thing. And certain individuals, they have flourished within this situation of money, power, and followers. And the purity and the motive, everybody has a certain drive that comes. Let us say you're going to New York or someplace in the car. So maybe you pull over, at some restaurant or some place, and here's a nice house, and you don't continue on your journey. You may stop there, or you may get what you wanted, and your desire to realize more truth, to go further, is checked. You stop doing that. You become complacent in the situation. I've done enough service. Prabhupada said one time in Calcutta, when he came, he used to come to Calcutta, and then we would all go to Mayapur for the festival. We come from the airport, and the different devotees came in the temple room. Everybody's been in Calcutta temple. Same building, same temple room. There's a one room up on the roof, and there's one room downstairs. Prabhupada had one room. Not a very comfortable situation, and always hot. There was no air conditioners or anything. But Prabhupada came in there. That's why he never would stay more than 1 day in Calcutta, 1 to 2 days. When he came, he sat on Vyasasan, and he looked at us all, and he said, some of you were associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and you've come here to assist me. Some of you were demigods who came here also to assist me. And the rest of you are just plain fortunate. So, generally in the past, you see when people lived 100,000 years in the Satya Yuga, it was required to do 10,000 years of austerity. So they would go like the prachetas, they would go in the water, they would meditate, they would do 1/10. So we're supposed to live 100 years. So it's very phenomenal that a huge amount of devotees, after being in the institution for 10 years, left. This must have been the demigods. Because after 10 years of executing, then, but we were very young, 19, 20, so at 30 people want to get married, or plus the other things that were going on in the institution. There was no space for us anymore. I don't want to go into that. That's a whole nother thing. But everything may get slowed down due to our association with lust, anger, and greed. And it may grow to one becomes demoniac. We have seen so many have gone back, not so many, but many have gone to violence against Vaishnavas and envy and dislike. And that may be because of different things they have seen. So, yashastra vidurmusrija vartate kam karataha. The Vedic Shastra, and I like to call it the Vedic intelligence, it is guiding us through this obstacle of ignorance. When you're blind, you have to someone go right, go left, go right, go left. If you want to go head on like a bull, you're just going to bang your head. So yashastra. Now that's the most important. This verse, Prabhupada quoted it. 1622. Oh, 23, yeah. Yashastra vidmutsri vartate. And you want to, especially in the West, they don't want to follow Shastra. They want to take a little from Buddhism, little from Hindu, little from their own mind, and then they make something. So, Shastra is science, Shastra is the guidance, and yes, Shastra, when you give that up, vartate kam, and you act by your own whims, your own lusty idea, I will do it this way. That's not a science. I've had so many say to me, oh, that's not a science. Well, if you don't follow it, then it's not a science. But science takes time, and the result takes time. It's particularly like Ayurvedic medicine. It's a science, but it takes time. It's not the antibiotic where tomorrow morning you're fine. It may take a month or 2 months. But one who has faith on that, he follows that. But one who gives it up, Varate kama nasasiddhim. Ma'am, what are you doing? I got it right here. Hare Krishna. Nasasiddhim navapnoti nashukam. You'll never ultimately be happy. You will not be happy. You will be. There is the days of the 1970s and the 60s. There was LSD revolution. Everyone thought it would take this LSD. Who in here has taken LSD? We all took it. I grew up in San Francisco, so it was everywhere. I was in high school. But it was revolutionary. I used to go out and get in fights and have fun. But when I took LSD, I didn't ever want to fight anymore. I was a great sports player. I threw away my golf clubs. My father was so upset. And I was good at it too. Threw away the golf clubs, threw away all these things. So for some effect, it was beneficial. But now I've seen some interviews of these, because Laguna Beach was the Timothy Leary and all of these people that spread the acid culture. What is it? Brotherhood of Love. Tune in, drop out. What is it? Tune in, turn in, drop out. Now I have seen the interviews of these people who are our age. Now they're in their 60s, and they're miserable. It didn't bring them anything. Na shukam, na param. They didn't get the supreme destination. We saw that, we left that. Once in New York, some devotees were, I read that, some devotees were, I heard Prabhupada say on tape, some devotees they couldn't understand something. And Prabhupada said, oh, you have all ruined your brain by this LSD. So to create something which is the New Age movement. You know, they have these New Age people, and there was a crew of them today that came to the MVT. There's one person, he organizes some tour every year to Vrindavan, and he rounds up about 20 of these people and takes them to Rishikesh and Vrindavan and other places. And when you meet these people, they're so arrogant. They think we're stupid. They actually think that they know more than us. They got this attitude with their dumb tattoos and all these stupid things they do. If you ever want to disturb them, you ask them, why you wear that stupid tattoo? Why you put ink on your body? You're a 2-year-old, you have to scribble on your body? Oh, they become disturbed. But they actually think they know something. But ultimately, we will sit here very peacefully, chanting Krishna, whatever you like. One of my godbrothers they're tearing down all of the properties along this, we have seen in Madan Mohan. The government is reclaiming land. So one of my godbrothers up in Radhakund, very nice ashram, he came to see me. He said, yes, they put the petition yesterday to the Supreme Court. And today, tomorrow we'll get decision, they put today. But they will tear his house down because it's in the line of this, where they're tearing down his nice ashram. He's laughing. I am free, doesn't matter, Krishna will arrange, I don't care. Another devotee, same thing. I am free, I don't care. Krishna will give me something else, maybe Giriraj, my deity wants to go another spot. That's a Vaishnava. No stress. Good happen, bad, it's all the same. Krishna's arranging, he has faith on that. He has no stress. There's always a reason. A karmi will immediately argue. He's attached to ignorance. Why are you doing that? Why are you kicking me out? They will have a revolution. You know? All these people, they're, like I said, when a thief has to justify, so the people on welfare, the government giving out 45 million people welfare, food stamp. Why? When you don't go to work. But the greedy people have arranged that it's not worth it to work. So Shastra is the way to go to follow this. And this whole chapter is very simple, is a very short chapter. All the qualities of the demons I have seen in these other Asian countries. Like here, so much wealth do I have today, I will gain according to my schemes. A billionaire, 2 billion, 3 billion. There was one man in Thailand, 2 brothers, they own all the 7-Elevens, which are 5,000 or 6,000. And you know, the most profitable business, if you want to go into a business, is eyeglasses. They cost like $6 and they're selling them for $300, $400. They're only a little piece of wire. And they make a fortune, these people. They own all the eyeglasses. They own all the meat in the country, all the pigs they slaughter, all the chickens. They own all the rice. They buy everything, and they have now 25, 30 billion, and people have nothing. And there's no end to it. They want it all. Pankaj Jangari gave a very nice class this morning. It's talking about Hiranyakashipu, how that man was the king of the rascals, the king of the thieves, how he stole. He took the whole universe. It wasn't enough for him. He wanted to be immortal. So these are little demons next to the Lord, and I mean compared to Hiranyakashipu. And all these wealthy tech people and other rich people making a phone that costs $50 and selling it for $900. How they get 45 billion profit in 1 quarter. So that is the game, and they lose their sensitivity. And these people will be around at the end of the Kali Yuga, when devotees will not survive more than another 1,000 to 2,000 years. We will all not be able to take birth here because we are qualified for a better living standard. We are be with Mahaprabhu somewhere. So I I feel to talk about these demons. Everybody knows. We see them everywhere we go. They have no consciousness of what they're doing, what's right, what's wrong. They cook meat, they eat meat, they don't know when to bathe. They wake up in the morning. You know, the big treat on Mother's Day is to bring your mother breakfast in bed. What is that? She didn't wash her mouth. She didn't take a shower. Who's going to eat in their own bed? It's all your cells have been falling off your body all night, and it should be cleaned and washed down, and they're going to, this is a treat, with your mouth not washed, no puja done, no japa done, no worshiping of God, and immediately eat something. That is a culture of fools, rascals. They don't know what is to be done or what is not to be done. They think, oh, this man he died, but he was a good man. He went to heaven. Going to hell is where he went. They don't know. He went to heaven. And what is heaven? You tell them there's no McDonald's there, they don't want to go. Because of their limited conception of what is God. They put this conception on God and think that that is what God is like. And that is what heaven is like. So they have no experience because they have not read the Shastra. So that's why Prabhupada has so pushed the book distribution, to give them a chance to first understand. You know, anytime we talk, we all say the same thing when we meet somebody, you know. They want to know about God. I don't know about God. Let us talk first. Self-realization. Who are you? First you must know you're not the body. Once you understand you're not the body and you give them examples, then we can talk about other more subtle things, and you can go to another level. So yeah, we must study the scriptures and understand these things, and what is, to these demoniac people, this is what they say. They have no faith. They change the scriptures. If you go to Thailand, they have the Ramayana there. And they follow Buddha and Rama, but they changed it all. The king decided we're going to put I went to the museum and I saw Hanuman. They changed their names too. Changed Hanuman's name to something else. Rama stayed the same. Sita stayed the same, but Lakshman, everybody else got a different name. I see Hanuman with a mermaid. Hanuman never met a mermaid. Although there are such things in the kingdom of Varuna. It's there. So people want to change, they want to add. Even in our society, people want to change things, or they want to shut you up to speak things about what Prabhupada said. They don't like that, because that may be disturbance. Can you imagine Prabhupada sitting here and telling him, hey, that ain't politically correct? Can you imagine that? But yet, his disciples speak that and they shut you up. No, you shouldn't talk about that. That's ignorance. This isn't North Korea. I personally, my opinion is, and it's a fact, it's not just an opinion, we came from a democratic nation. India is the biggest democracy in the world, and United States and Europe also are big democracies, but ISKCON is communism. 100%. There are the Poliberto, whatever you call them. They have a meeting, they decide, and we have no voice. Just accept it and shut up, and if you say something, you're envious. Get out. You have no right we have no opinion. The same men for 40 years, selling New York Temple, whatever they feel like. 2 people. Can you imagine? Prabhupada was in New York. I was in that 55th Street Temple with him. Oh, was he in ecstasy. And now it's gone. No devotees. Prabhupada would come now. Not one devotee in New York City. A few. And the ones that are going out and chanting, they're making many devotees. doing wonderful service, because our business is chanting. So one has to, even here, you see things have been altered. And when they alter it, it ruins it, it doesn't work. Prabhupada's formula is so nice. The old school devotees, I know like 5 tunes, but I never hear, those were Prabhupada sang. And according to his mood, sometimes a different tune would come. But now there's like 2,000 tunes, everybody's got to have his own trademark tune. That's my tune. That's a disease. That's the disease. That's why we're still here, because we want to be different. No, you're not different. There's no difference. Better to be simple. And Prabhupada, what he said, what did he say? Why he was successful?
Didn't change anything.
He said, I did not change anything. He said, what I have done, there may be whatever you say, but I did not change anything. And it may sound easy, but it's the most difficult thing for a conditioned soul to not change something. The jivas all have come here to enjoy, to mimic Krishna, and to be supreme. So one shouldn't change, and everything Prabhupada said, he said by Shastra. He called people, he could say things. Prabhupada came to Australia. So we make a press conference, and the newspaper comes, and all the reporters, we go into the room, the VIP room, and they asked, Swamiji, you came to Australia last year, why have you come again this year? And Srila Prabhupada can say that. You know, they say, you know, old men and young children can say anything, and people don't get too disturbed. But Prabhupada would say things in such a way that people felt happy. He said, I have come because you're still all dogs and hogs. And the headline in the paper the next day was, Swamiji has come to hound us. So that is the way he spoke. And then he would say to people, you know, you're a dushkritino, you're an asura, you know. And they would say, oh, how can you say that? I'm not saying it, Krishna's saying it. And he would quote Bhagavad-Gita. So when we do that and show that Prabhupada said this, he was a person. You say, oh, you shouldn't say things negative. What is that nonsense? What is negative? You have to speak the truth. This material world is a world of positives and negatives. You can't just speak the positive and neglect the negative. Out of envy, one should not find fault. That's one of the qualities of a pious person. He's not happy to speak faults, but they're there. In Bombay, once Prabhupada's godbrother Ban Maharaj, who owned that property across the street, he was the one sent to England, you know, and we were at a traffic stoplight in the morning, going on the morning walk, and we looked at the car next to us, and Ban was sitting there in the car with Lalitananda, who was American, that he went there to avoid, a Prabhupada disciple. He went to India to avoid the Vietnam draft. So he came to Mumbai, and he had become a disciple of him. And when Prabhupada came, he didn't come back to see Prabhupada, because the Gaudiya Math had, you know, covered his consciousness, lied, called Prabhupada Swamiji, and he just this, he just that. That's what they still do. You know, they want to minimize. Then when we went back to the temple, Prabhupada went on for 3 days about this Ban Maharaj. And he said he wants to murder me. He saw me, now he will try to murder me. So he told me, this is in Akash Ganga. He told me, you go by the door. Don't let him in if he comes. Don't let him in, I don't want to see him. My Guru Maharaj sent him to England, and he did nothing. And then they tell me that if you're going to the West, better learn to wear a suit and eat with a fork and a knife. But no, I went there to teach, not to learn. And they tried to stop him in every way. Oh, you want to go? Like they tell, They asked me, we will publish your book, Guru Kripa, you write it. But first we will edit it. And what's the use of writing a book if you're going to edit what I have to say? What is we have no opinion. They want to sugarcoat and cover everything. But no, it's not so. We have to falina farishate. We've learned all this from Prabhupada. And those few of us that had that much association and watched him and lived with him and were chastised by him and loved by him in every way, he trained us and we watched him. He wasn't like that. He was heavy duty. Heavy duty. He was like a thunderbolt and like a rose, but you didn't know which one you were going to get. You didn't know, because in our idea, I'm doing something right. But it was wrong, because it wasn't Shastra, and he would let you know. And he tolerated no changes. But yet, so many things are different. And so many, now, it's all right. Yeah, anybody can come and chant Hare Krishna. But they talk about homosex. No, we don't have illicit sex. So where's the question of homosex? Or basically any sex, have some children. What to speak of homosex? So why are they talking? We're homosexual. Oh, you are? I thought you gave up sex. You want to be here? We don't care what your tendency is. Control it. We're not out to get anybody. Sex is sex. We're not interested in talking about that. We're interested in chasing Krishna. But then there's all these political movements, the Hillary crew, the talk about the Trump. Who cares? Kali Yuga will take its course. The tsunami doesn't care. It's coming. The world is going to crash. At some point, Mother Nature is going to clean up. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Ayuktanam dharmasya taratmanam srijamiyam. Krishna promises, I will clean it up. That's his business. So we wait. Krishna, why is this so bad now? Imagine, India had a partition in, was that 1947, 48. 250 million Indians. And there were approximately, 245 million Hindus. The Muslims all went that side. The Hindus ran out of Pakistan area. And when I was here traveling in 1971, 72, like this, we had no money. I used to get 1 rupee to go on the train from Bombay to wherever I went. We only took the 3rd class train. We had no money. But people would come see I didn't have food. Always give something. Not now. They're all eating chicken. There was no chicken. They were in Mumbai. There was the meat restaurants, but they had like flower pots around the door, and you had to sneak in through the side thing and go in there. People were ashamed to show that. Now they flaunt it. They think it's okay. They think, oh, Ekadasi and this stuff's for old people. I'll do it when I'm old. So everything is lost. But Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam. This Maha Mantra is the only savior. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the only deity in this age. And if we can get them to go that way, their mind may change. But as Prabhu said this morning in class, they have to want to change. They have to look. They have to feel the need. But people think they're happy, and so the only result is the danda. If I want to kill you, I got to plan it out, okay? Because you don't want to get caught or whatever. It takes a little work. And maybe I won't be successful. You might kill me first. So it takes some endeavor. But if Krishna wants to kill you, he'll put you all in one place and kill you all at the same time. And they can't go to the lawyers and say, oh, he shouldn't have done that. That wasn't very, American-like. No, they have to accept. So they don't want to accept God, and they want to defy God, and they want to defy all of us that we're all stupid, and yet they're demoniac, and then death will come and take them, and put them all in one spot, and there'll be something more and more. But we see the difference. For those that have come on the path of righteousness, there's never any stress. Any questions? Comments? Prabhu. This is Prabhupada's loda that he took on the Jaladut. He had many lodas, but this one he took on the boat. Very powerful. This loda is so powerful, more than an atomic bomb. It's in Chaitanya Bhagavat. The story is there. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a special relationship with Kodaveka Sridhar. He used to come in, he only sold at a very cheap price, and then he would try to get him down more, and everything, the relationship. So one day, then Mahaprabhu was passing by his hut, and he saw his utility pot, is what it's called. See, these are utility pots. We used to use these in the old days. There's tin inside and brass outside. So when you wash them with sand, they become purified. So you can take to the toilet, you can clean it and use this to make dal. You can bathe with it. You can drink milk with it. You can do many, many things. So when he came on the porch of Kodaveka Sridhar, Sridhar came out, he took his pot and he started to drink from it. So then he said, "Oh, you're Brahmin, now I'm going to hell." And Mahaprabhu said, "No, the water from the pot of your caliber is more powerful, 10 times more powerful than the Ganga." So even this is more powerful than Prabhupada's shoes. He wore these for 1 year. I gave them his shoes. You see, people can't cheat, because Prabhupada wore his shoes down on the corner. The little wore down. I had these in the cabinet for 1 year, and then I let somebody keep for 1 year. Now I'll put them back today. That's why I brought them here. But this loda I had many years, and I bathe my deities and I put the water here. So in the morning I get up all groggy, like 3 o'clock when I get a chant. I would come and go up. I'm ready to go. Seriously. So Prabhupada's potency is there, you know. And your question?
Just like Prabhupada, he said, "I'm giving you everything. You do not add or you do not subtract anything." But so many times I see so many things are happening. If I say something, well, it is not different. Whether so many things Prabhupada never said. But if we say what is the problem, there is no problem. We can say whatever we want to say. We would like to say. Let us. Why you want to stop us? I am not stopping. I said, did Prabhupada said this one? When Prabhupada never said this, then why do you say? Why do you add this one? So once also I asked in the Bombay temple, one senior sannyasi. Then he said, I was chanting like this. Then Prabhupada said, you don't add anything, just chant Hare Krishna, that's all. So then these things are sometimes disturbing to the devotees, and we see that so many changes they are doing whimsically according to their own. Hare Krishna.
I agree with you. People are changing, saying Prabhupada, it's not right now to say these things. The truth is the truth, it's eternally the truth. So that's up to the leaders. They have to put their foot down. But where are these leaders? I don't see them in Kartik doing Govardhan Parigram. I don't know where they go. Oh, sorry, they have to be on their emails. Hare Krishna. Okay. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtana. Here, everybody can come see the shoes. Take this book away. There you go. Huh? Here.
Oh, you are so kind.
Here. What is that? Give me that. There. Here, put the. Give me the lota. Give me the lota back. Who stole it? Be careful with them shoes.
He's leaving that here for everybody.
Here you go. Here, Charnamrita.
Sorry.
Now get the shoes over there. Look at it.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey.
Sorry. Just a bit. Just me. Hey, Sheila.
Thank you for your nice experience.
So fantastic. So fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, try.
This is present for you
Huh?
from Prabhu, making my devotees in Italy.
Really?
With great thankfulness for your service.
This is from Billy Vrindavan?
No, maybe yes.
Huh?
The devotees from Italy brought, he don't know exactly, but
It's very far out because I just gave away 5 bottles and now Krishna sends me a bottle back.
в общем, я раздал эти бутылки. Кришна мне одну вернул.
People ask me to bring. It's not quality like this.
Люди меня просили привезти, я их тоже пригласил.
Some devotees live here. They want some.
Те, которые реально тут живут, я их просил.
But this is private. This is best.
Но это самое лучшее частного.
The other one I buy in the store.
А другие я в магазине покупал. Thank you for your congratulations, contribution for this creating this
All right.
temple.
Thank you. All right, Krishna. Here, you can drink the rest. I got been Matt. There you go.
Вот это Прабхупада, который он с собой взял.
Jaladu. Take it. I like olive oil. Only olive oil or ghee?
Только либо гель, либо оливковое. Good health to you.
Huh?
Good health to you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Good spiritual health to you.
Тебе духовного здоровья.
Okay.
Prabhuji, on last Eid, we were going by car and we saw a day prior to Eid, Eid Muslim day, when they cut the goats.
I don't know Muslim.
The Muslim day when they cut the goat and they eat meat. A day prior to Eid, we were going by car and we saw so many cars and bikes, they were carrying goat. They wanted to cut themselves. Earlier they used to buy from the shop, now I think they're cutting themselves.
Same with Durga Puja. Durga Puja, they do the same thing. They cut the goat. You've been in Calcutta? and they throw the blood everywhere, all over the streets. They run crazy. It makes them crazy. Blood on everybody, everywhere. Makes them all insane.
You're not coming to Delhi now?
No, I'm Kartik here.
Maybe whatever Krishna.
Sends me, I will go.
Once you came to Delhi, I was very new in ISKCON and I asked you some personal question in the sense, I personally asked you a question, what's it like? And that really helped me. Extremely helped me. It was very good lecture. Very powerful. So I described it.